Did you know that the average person in the US spends a third of their time at work? That equals out to roughly 4 months a year. Having a work environment that promotes intrinsic motivation helps increase overall well-being for employees. Well-being isn't just avoiding stress or illness, it encompasses finding personal value and enjoyment in everyday activities and realizing your potential. In this short video series, we'll dig into how you can increase your well-being and motivation using the lens of self-determination theory. Let's set the stage with some basics. Motivation is the intention a person puts into a behavior or task through energy, direction, and persistence. There are two main types of motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation is when the reward lies in the task itself. A great example of this is the play of children when they create their own imaginary worlds. Now, extrinsic motivation is completing a task to attain an external reward. Students working on homework to obtain a good grade is a common example. Now that we know a little bit about motivation, let's transition over to the work setting. No matter what field you're in, there exists a work culture, whether it's in an office, a classroom, an animal shelter, at home, or, well, you get the picture. So what is it exactly? Work culture is the environment an organization establishes through both formal and informal communications. Needless to say, the environment that you work in influences yours and others' motivation. But what's even more interesting is that you're able to influence the environment to increase motivation. Now, why use self-determination theory as a lens for motivation? Well, it's an empirically tested and researched theory that has several studies showing that it works in multiple settings and cultures, or simply stated, it's well vetted, and it successfully applies to a variety of situations. Self-determination theory was developed by Richard Ryan and Edward Deci, or Ryan and Deci for short. Within self-determination theory is the subtheory of basic psychological needs, which states that all individuals have three essential needs: relatedness, competency, and autonomy. Each of these need to be fulfilled to achieve optimal motivation. So let's quickly define each of the basic psychological needs. Relatedness refers to feeling connected to others through relationships. Competency is when a person has feelings of mastery or effectiveness with their abilities. And autonomy is having the sense of choice in your own behavior versus being controlled by external forces. Autonomy is the key to the whole basic psychological needs puzzle to optimizing a person's motivation. The environment in which you operate can either hinder or satisfy the three basic needs. And the cool thing is, you have the power to influence your work environment to help fulfill relatedness, competency, and autonomy, not only for yourself, but for others as well. Because when people have increased motivation, everyone in the organization experiences positive benefits. In our next videos, we'll break down each of the three basic needs, starting with relatedness, and provide some tips and ideas for how you can optimize motivation at work. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to click on that subscribe button so that way you don't miss out on what's coming next.